Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, we begin with breaking news and your top news story of the day. He endangers our democracy, Democrats say, as they unveil articles of impeachment against President Trump. House Democrats announced 2 articles of impeachment Tuesday against President Donald Trump: abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, pushing toward historic votes over charges he threatened the integrity of the U.S. election system and endangering national security in his dealings with Ukraine. Speaker Nancy Pelosi, flanked by the chairman of Impeachment Inquiry Committee, declared at the U.S. Capitol that they were upholding their solemn oath to defend the Constitution. Voting is expected in a matter of days in the Judiciary Committee by Christmas in the full House. Let's take a look at part of that announcement from Nancy Pelosi. Take a listen to this video.
We're back celebrating the holidays.
And our new Volvo showrooms in Nashua, Concord, and Merida.
Right now at Lovering Volvo, your first payment is on us, in addition to saving up to $14,000 off select 2019 models.
Call or visit us today.
Good morning, everyone. On this solemn day, I recall that the first order of business for members of Congress is the solemn act to take an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. There's great respect and gratitude that I thank the chairs of the committees, the 6 committees who have been working to help us honor our oath of office. I also want to thank the staff of those committees and the committee members for all of their work over this period of time to help us protect and defend. I want to thank the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, Mr. Nadler, chair of the Intelligence Committee, Mr. Schiff, chair of the Ways and Means Committee, chairman, all of these chairmen, Chairman Richie Neal of Massachusetts, the chair of the Foreign Affairs Committee, Elliot Engel of New York, the chair of the Financial Services Committee, Maxine Waters of California, the chair of the Committee on Government Reform and Oversight, Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney. I also want to acknowledge the important work that was done by our dear and departed, may rest in peace, Elijah Cummings as chair of the Oversight Committee. Now pleased to yield to the distinguished chair of the Judiciary Committee, Mr. Nadler.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Over the last several months, the investigative committees of the House have been engaged in an impeachment inquiry into President Donald Trump's efforts to solicit foreign interference in the 2020 elections, efforts that compromised our national security and threatened the integrity of our elections. Throughout this inquiry, he has attempted to conceal the evidence from Congress and from the American people. Our president holds the ultimate public trust. When he betrays that trust and puts himself before country, he endangers the Constitution, he endangers our democracy, and he endangers our national security. The framers of the Constitution prescribed a clear remedy for presidents who so violate their oath of office. That is the power of impeachment. Today, in service to our duty to the Constitution and to our country, the House Committee on the Judiciary is introducing 2 articles of impeachment charging the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, with committing high crimes and misdemeanors. The first article is for abuse of power. It is an impeachable offense for the President to exercise the powers of his public office to obtain an improper personal benefit while ignoring or injuring the national interest. That is exactly what President Trump did when he solicited and pressured Ukraine to interfere in our 2020 presidential election, thus damaging our national security, undermining the integrity of the next election, and violating his oath to the American people. These actions, moreover, are consistent with President Trump's previous invitations of foreign interference in our 2016 presidential election. And when he was caught, when the House investigated and opened an impeachment inquiry, President Trump engaged in unprecedented, categorical, and indiscriminate defiance of the impeachment inquiry. This gives rise to the second article of impeachment for obstruction of Congress. Here, too, we see a familiar pattern in President Trump's misconduct. A president who declares himself above accountability, above the American people, and above Congress's power of impeachment, which is meant to protect against threats to our democratic institutions, is a president who sees himself as above the law. We must be clear. No one, not even the president, is above the law. I want to recognize the great contributions of the investigative chairs, particularly Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff, Foreign Affairs Chairman Eliot Engel, Committee on Oversight and Reform's former chairman, the late Elijah Cummings, and its new chairwoman, Carolyn Maloney, Financial Services Chairwoman Maxine Waters, and Ways and Means Chairman Richard Neal, who helped lay the foundation for the articles we are introducing today. I also want to thank my Judiciary Committee colleagues who were critical in our work to hold the President accountable and in the drafting of these articles. Later this week, the Judiciary Committee will meet to consider these articles of impeachment and to make a recommendation to the full House of Representatives. We do not take this action lightly, but we have taken an oath to defend the Constitution. And unlike President Trump, we understand that our duty, first and foremost, is to protect the Constitution and to protect the interests of the American people. That is why we must take this solemn step today. Elections are the cornerstone of democracy and are foundational to the rule of law. But the integrity of our next election is at risk from a president who has already sought foreign interference in the 2016 and 2020 elections and who consistently puts himself above country. That is why we must act now. I want to turn now to Chairman Schiff, who will explain the evidence that supports these articles and the need for us to act with such urgency today.
Okay, and there you go on that video. If you want to watch the rest of that video, we will share a link with you on the Riley King Network Facebook page after this broadcast. U.S. Rep. Chris Pappas promises to review articles of impeachment free of political considerations. First-term Democrat stops short of saying whether he supports impeaching Trump. Hassan Shaheen called for a fair process. Sorry about that one. U.S. Chris Pappas promised Tuesday to review the articles of impeachment unveiled by House Democrat leaders without political consideration. calling it a somber and serious day in our nation's history. Pappas, serving in his first term representing New Hampshire's 1st congressional district, has not yet said if he will vote to impeach President Donald Trump. The Manchester Democrat is running for a second term in a district that Trump won in 2016. Pappas said he is focusing on his job as a member of Congress while weighing the impeachment articles and related evidence. The House Judiciary Committee is expected to vote on the articles this week, and the full House could vote next week if Trump is impeached. A trial will be held in the U.S. Senate with senators sitting as jurors and considering whether Trump should be removed from office. A two-third majority vote would be required to remove the president. Also, Tuesday, U.S. Senator Maggie Hassan and Jeanne Shaheen provided their views of the proceedings ahead, saying they support a fair process if the matter goes to the Senate. See the two Democrats' comments below. Pappas, meanwhile, said in a statement, after months of investigations and hearings, the House Judiciary Committee has introduced 2 articles of impeachment concerning President Donald Trump's use of nearly $400 million in military aid to pressure foreign actors to intervene in our election process, and his Semitic efforts to obstruct Congress' constitutionally mandated oversight role on behalf of the American people. This is a somber and serious day in our nation's history, and one in which the partisan politics must be disviewed. And, here's what else he said. Take a look. I'll let you guys read the rest of the comments from our local leaders in New Hampshire. And if you want to see this article, we will share it with you on the Riley King Network Facebook page after the broadcast. Warren releases deals of Blue New Deal plan for protecting oceans and marine habitats. Massachusetts Senator would halt offshore drilling, fast-track permitting for offshore wind wave generating projects. Untimely death being investigated in Pelham, AG says. Little information released by officials. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Ray Brewer.
We're back celebrating the holidays.
And our new Volvo showrooms in Nashua, Concord, and Merida.
Right now at Lovering Volvo, your first payment is on us, in addition to saving up to $14,000 off select 2019 models.
Call or visit us today.
Well, Sean, it's important to note first off that this has not been identified by the AG's office as the address where that untimely death occurred. That being said, a neighbor tells us that police had been here since about 1 o'clock this morning. That neighbor didn't want to go on camera, but she says that the home is contains a family of a husband, wife, and their 13-year-old daughter. The woman describing the daughter saying that she often babysits for her children, saying that also that the woman is her best friend and that she had a conversation with that woman at about 10 o'clock last night, that the conversation was very normal. She also adds that she didn't hear any arguing earlier this morning. It was just, again, about 1 o'clock this morning when she noticed police camped outside 9 Collins Way in Pelham. As soon as we get more information, we will, of course, pass it along to you. Reporting live in Pelham, Ray Brewer, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Police ask for public's help in search for missing woman. Cheryl Harvey, 53, last seen in Exeter. Take a look at the photo of Cheryl Harvey. If you've seen this woman or know where she is, please call your local police. The Exeter Police Department is asking for the public's assistance as they search for a missing woman. Police say Cheryl Harvey, 53, was last seen walking barefoot around the neighborhood near Jebel Martin Road at around 10 p.m. Monday. Police said she is described as 5 feet 3 inches tall and weighing 125 pounds. She has blue eyes and brown hair. She is wearing a hoodie camouflage jacket with a gray hood and scarf and black pants, police said. Anyone with information regarding this case should contact the Exeter Police Department and ask for Sergeant Peter Tilton at 603-772-1212. And now let's take a look at that U.S. stock market and see how the U.S. stock market closed for this Tuesday evening. And here's a look at that U.S. stock market for all of you for this Tuesday evening. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the red and went down. Your Nasdaq closed in the red and went down. S&P 500 closed in the red and went down. Gold closed in the green and went up. Oil closed in the green and went up. U.S. 10-year closed in the green and went up. Euro/USD closed in the red and went down. And VIX closed in the red and went down. And that is a look how your stock market closed this evening. Stocks slip as investors brace for looming trade deadline. Stocks dipped on Tuesday as a looming U.S.-China trade deadline damped investor sentiment. And we're following some more breaking news. Multiple people dead, including police officer in New Jersey shooting. Let's take a look at this video.
We're back celebrating the holidays.
And our new Volvo showrooms in Nashua, Concord, and Meredith.
Right now at Lovering Volvo, your first payment is on us, in addition to saving up to $14,000 off select 2019 models.
Call or visit us today.
And this is video taken from the scene. A police officer and multiple others were killed in a shooting in Jersey City Tuesday that authorities say is not believed to have been a terrorism attack. One officer was pronounced dead at the hospital and multiple other people were found dead at the scene, the mayor of New Jersey said, without indicating how many people were killed. A second officer was struck in the shoulder by gunfire and 2 others were injured by shrapnel. Local media reports say the total death toll stands at 6, including 2 suspects, 3 civilians, and the Jersey City police officer. And we will keep you updated on this developing story. And that does it for this Tuesday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all enjoyed watching and have a great Tuesday evening, everyone. And I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Good night and bye, everyone.